Looking to play your wildcard during the international break? This video has got you covered. Alright then, so starting off with the goalkeeper, I've gone for Nick Pope. Now, Newcastle themselves have not been in the best form so far this season, but the fact that Nick Pope has some really nice fixtures coming up, I think those fixtures in themselves are going to create some form for him. We know he's got potential for saves bonus, and Newcastle were one of the best defences in the Premier League last season. Only problem is he's 5.5 million. Obviously, there are a couple of 4 million goalkeepers you can start on your bench as well, so you can save a bit of cash there. But I just think he's worth that money purely because there aren't really many goalkeepers at the moment who are absolutely smashing it. Certainly Pope isn't, but I feel like with those fixtures coming up, they're going to create some nice form for him. And as we know from last season, he's got the potential, of course, for clean sheets, but saves bonus as well, which is really important for goalkeepers. So I think for the next 8 or so game weeks, Pope is the best goalkeeper. In defence then, I've got Udogie, Chilwell and Kieran Trippier. Udogie, I think, is emerging as the best sort of cheap under 5 million defender in the game. He does have a couple of really tough fixtures coming up, but I've got a nice 4.5 million, well, Udogie's not 4.5, but I've got a nice cheap defender rotation going on. You can see the guy on the bench as the video goes on. Chilwell, he looks really attacking. He's taken up some really nice attacking positions in his last 3 games. He's basically playing as the Chelsea left winger, and I know the returns have not been spectacular for him so far, but he's still got 4 really nice fixtures coming up. I expect some clean sheets and potentially some attacking returns from him. Kieran Trippier, we all know he was the top scoring defender in FPL last season. He is quite expensive at 6.5 million. As I said with Pope, Newcastle have not been that great defensively so far, but we all know that form is created by fixtures, and I think just with the quality of fixtures that Trippier's got coming up, he's going to be a great option. Now, the first 2 midfielders I've gone for are Bryan Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes. Bryan Mbeumo actually tops the list for expected goal involvements across the whole Premier League so far this season. The fact that he's on penalties, I think, makes him an unbelievable option. He can score in any game, and with those fixtures coming up, obviously Newcastle away is a tough one. With those penalties, he could score in that one, and then with the future fixtures beyond then, in my opinion at least, they look really nice. He's definitely taken up that talisman role with the Tony ban, and I just think he's guaranteed to play every game. At 90 minutes per game, he's a really safe option and by far and away the best midfielder under 7 million. Bruno Fernandes, I think by the time I record this video, he's probably dropped to 8.4 million, which is just an absolute bargain for him. I can't believe players are selling him. His underlying numbers are fantastic. He's the 4th best midfielder in the game for expected goal involvement. I think he might actually be the 4th best player overall in the game. He's really good still. He's on the penalties, which means he can score in pretty much any game he plays. With the Mason Mount injury, he's playing in behind the striker now, more advanced than he was at the start of the season when maybe he wasn't getting the returns that he deserved. I just think he's a great option. Get the Brighton fixture out of the way, and to be honest, Brighton aren't looking all that clever defensively. Get that fixture out of the way, and they start to look really nice for Man United. And to be honest, I think he can return in the Brighton game as well. So Bryan Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes, I think, 2 great options and certainly make this draft. Now, I don't think I need to talk in much detail about the next 3 midfielders I've gone for. James Maddison has been in absolutely fantastic form all the way through the season for Spurs. Marcus Rashford, I think, is probably one of the best options at his price tag. And Bukayo Saka, I think, is just ridiculously underpriced for the upside that he provides. This midfield, the 5-man midfield I've got, contains the 4 top midfielders in the game for expected goal involvement. All of them under 9 million, which is just ridiculous value. And it just makes it so easy, in my opinion, to pick a midfield. Up front then, I've got Taiwo Awoniyi and Erling Haaland. Obviously, Haaland is a shoe-in to any draft and is probably the captain game week on game week. As for Awoniyi, though, he's doing really well this season. And to be honest, it's more than just this season. He was doing well towards the back end of last season as well. I'm pretty sure he's got a return in the last 8 Premier League games that he's played. He's just in ridiculous form, carrying over from last season. And if you compare his stats last season as well to the other top players in the Premier League, well, he's better than, if not similar to all of them. I think the only player that beats him for expected returns per 90 is Erling Haaland and Mo Salah last season. Other than that, he trumps everyone in the Premier League, and he's obviously shown that form this season as well. He scored 3 goals already in the 4 games that he's appeared in and got 1 assist. So an attacking return in each game he's appeared in this season. And I think with the Man City fixture mixed in, could think that's quite a tough one. But to be honest, he seems to be relatively fixture-proof, to be completely honest. He scored against Man United and Arsenal, both at their own ground. So I think he's going to be a really good option going forwards. Also, I just really like him as a little differential as well. He's only 4.4% owned in the game at the moment. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be rushing to bring him into their teams because, to be honest, they probably have other fires to put out. So if you're on your wildcard now, it's a really good chance to get a differential like this in who pretty much is going to guarantee you points going forwards. As for the bench then, I've gone for Turner. I mean, Areola is a perfectly decent backup option as well. You could go for him on rotation with Nick Pope. Botman, I think, rotates really nicely with Udogie. He's currently marked as injured in the draft hand game at the moment, which is why his expected points are really low. I think he's going to play every game for Newcastle that he's fit for. And when Udogie plays Arsenal and Liverpool, couple of fixtures you might not want to start him for, Botman plays Sheffield United and Burnley. So a lovely rotation between the two of those. Baldock, I mean, he's the pick for me, at least of the 4 million defenders, but you could have any of them. And Cameron Archer coming in at 4.5 million for Sheffield United means at the moment you can have 4 playing players on your bench. You can go even cheaper than Botman if you really want to, but you can have 4 players on your bench that play every game at the minimum price value for each of their positions. In Game Week 5, this team is predicted to get 68.4 points, and I've left 0.1 million in the bank as well. Now, I think I have these players at their accurate prices for the time being. I think Bruno Fernandes has actually dropped by 0.1 million. So this team is even cheaper than I'm showing you here. So hopefully anyone watching this video on Wildcard can afford this team. And yeah, I think this is by far and away the best wildcard you can pick. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, and that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think of this wildcard draft. I hope you can appreciate I'm on holiday at the moment, but I'm still finding time. And I brought all my equipment with me to make a few videos for you guys while I'm away. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like rating and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel, which should be just here. And I'll catch you from my kitchen in the next one.